We will be discussing a very important table from evidence-based medicine book and for obstetric and gynecology, and that is table 94.1, the classification of urinary symptoms into groups. Okay, so in how many groups we can divide the urinary incontinence symptoms? First of all, we have the group number 1 in which according to the urinary incontinence symptoms, we classify the incontinence. Like we have stress urinary incontinence, urge urinary incontinence, postural urinary incontinence, nocturnal anuresis, mixed urinary incontinence, continuous urinary incontinence, insensible urinary incontinence, and coital incontinence. The second group relates to the bladder storage symptoms. Okay, relating to the bladder storage symptoms, what are the different symptoms? First of all, increase urinary frequency, daytime urinary frequency. Secondly, nocturia. Third, urgency. And fourth, overactive bladder. Third group relates to the sensory symptoms. The sensory symptoms include increased bladder sensation, reduced bladder sensation, and absent bladder sensation. So it's easy: increase, reduce, and absent. The last group includes voiding and post-micturition symptoms, which include hesitancy, slow stream, intermittency, straining to void, spraying or spitting of urinary stream, feeling of incomplete bladder emptying, need to immediately revoid, post-micturition leakage, position-dependent micturition, dysuria, and urinary retention. Now you can check the detail from EBM book on page 720, but a little bit I would like to tell you. First of all, we have stress urinary incontinence. In stress urinary incontinence is a complaint of involuntary loss of urine on effort or physical exertion, that is sporting activities, or on sneezing or coughing. Urge urinary incontinence is the complaint of involuntary loss of urine associated with urgency. Postural urinary incontinence is a complaint of involuntary loss of urine associated with a change of the body position. Nocturnal anuresis is the complaint of loss of urine occurring during sleep. Now, mixed urinary incontinence is a complaint of involuntary leakage associated with urgency and also with the effort or physical exertion or on sneezing or coughing. The continuous urinary incontinence is a complaint of involuntary loss of urine, which is continuous. Insensible urinary incontinence is the complaint of urinary incontinence where the woman has been unaware of how it occurred. Coital incontinence is the complaint of involuntary loss of urine with the coitus. In the bladder storage symptoms, increased daytime frequency is the complaint by the patient that micturition occurs more frequently during waking hours. Nocturia is the complaint of interruption of sleep one or more time because of need to micturate. Overactive bladder can be defined as urinary urgency, usually accompanied by frequency, and nocturia with or without urgency incontinence in the absence of urinary infection or other obvious pathology. Sensory symptoms: increased bladder sensation, the complaint that desire to void during bladder filling occurs earlier or is more persistent than that previously experienced. Decreased bladder sensation means the complaint that defined desire to void occur later than that previously experienced. Absent bladder sensation is the complaint of both absence of sensation in the bladder filling and a definite desire to void. Now there's a list of voiding and post-micturition symptoms you can study from EBM book page 721, chapter number 94. Thank you so much for your patience. Allah Hafiz.